Good morning, everyone. Dan the Glassman here. You're watching The Glassman's World. So I have this book here, Stories of Water, a collection of stories from around the world for a new era. So this book here, I forget exactly when it was published, and this here, the back of it here, we'll read it. Water is an ancient being on this planet we call home, older than the sun. The fact that water came to our planet is a miracle. It is a cornerstone in the creation of life. Nothing can survive on earth without water. Water unites us. It needs to be remembered as the essential element it is. Dive in and let this book guide, instruct, and inspire you. It brings together people and voices from all over the world, merging many streams into one mighty river. Here we find stories, poems, and pictures that invite us to give thanks to water. See it as alive and sacred, at how it touches everything. Reading the vibrant pages, we come to know water again, and we flow into connection. Read this collection to yourself when you want to remember how to be a friend with water. Share it with others, a child, an elder, to go to sleep to, or while waking over breakfast. Find a place in nature and read it out loud. Read it on a bus and remember, water is in us all. Share it at work to find unexpected ways to enjoy water every day. Use the words in ceremonies and bring blessings for new life. Give it further as a reviving gift. Make space for it in the classroom and let it inspire new generations. This book is timely and hugely important. It holds great joy and great possibility. May it fill you with the wonder and water wisdom. And that's by Zara Wildebeck, writer, teacher, and healer. So this book here was just gifted to me by my good friend Michael Coles, who is traveling. He is visiting us from Canada on his walkabout journey, going through the U.S. currently. Starting, I'm not sure if it's starting with, but he did go to the Gathering of Elders along the Mississippi recently. He headed up to Seattle, Washington, where he also did some more water work, water prayers, and water ceremonies and things like that, and they're getting a water walk prepared in, I believe, I may be wrong, New Hampshire and Connecticut area. So I would like to share with you stories of water, the very first stories. So in this book here, you open up the page, just blank pages on the front, and then you go into the table of contents here. And this book, I believe it's available at Barnes and Noble and online and things like that. So yeah, there's all the contents right there for you guys. Hopefully my camera is working well enough. And if not, at least maybe you will be able to listen. These are all the credits and all the thank yous. Okay, so now we're going to get started here. So we open up here. The first reading here is by our good friend Michael Coles from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. A Mother's Son. When I was young, my mother taught me to give thanks to the water. Mother also told me that whenever you're sad or crying, that I should drink a glass of water. When I asked why, she explained it like this. Son, there is love in the water for you that will make you happy again. How does she know this? I asked. I know this, for I am the one who put it in there for you. I put it in there so you can feel my love when you drink it. And when you do, you will feel right as rain again. So drink a glass of love and give thanks every day. I really love that. I have this saying, right? Water's life, every drop counts. But that's the short version. We're all drops of water in this vast ocean of life. Water is life, and every drop counts. When I speak of that, we are all drops of water in this vast ocean of life, what I'm meaning is that we go all the way down to the tiniest molecular structure of ourselves, of our cellular structures, all the way down inside to the cells, which is 90% water. Those are the waters that I'm speaking of. We are all drops of water in this vast ocean of life. We're all created from these cells. It's mostly water and a little bit of matter, a little bit of carbon matter. The rest of it's all water. 90% water is in the cells, only 10% is matter. So we are all drops of water, all of our cells in this vast ocean of life. And so water drops simply leave the source. They take off, they go on a journey, and they return back to source. Water has always been here. The amount of water we've had for time immemorial. It's never left the planet. Maybe there's a possibility, but I don't believe so. So this here is another reading I'd like to read to you by grandmother Hazel McDonald from Ontario, Canada. The Story of Water. And we'll do this one here, and then we'll call it a day. But I just want to thank Michael Coles for this beautiful gift, and I will continue to share this book in such a way. We'll make sure to do readings from time to time, and we'll have it with us often. I'll probably just keep it on me in my bag and read it quite often. All right. Hazel McDonald, The Story of Water. Excuse me. As long as I can remember, I have appreciated water. I was a small girl, and I can still recall the exact spot I understood it was precious. I was in tall grass in a field. I have this thought, don't waste it. I am one of those who look and ponder bugs, trees, creatures, and all the elements. I played constantly on the Sydenham River bank in Dresden, Ontario, Canada. It was our playground. I was blessed to spend lots of time the early years visiting on Native Reserve, Walpole Island, where my aunt had a tiny cottage on a leased plot facing the big blue river St. Clair. I lived near Lake Erie. Although I never knew him, my grandmother was a Great Lakes commercial fisherman. Water calls me. It always has, and I always knew water was powerful. For me, it was intuitive and innate. Even in the very gentle movements of water, I knew she was whispering and could rage, and if you are not careful, take your life. She is the most sacred, beautiful being, showing her presence in all forms, magnifying her essence in our bodies, our breath, and all the universe. One day, I was at my piano. I looked out and saw an indigenous woman carrying a copper vessel and walking. I had no idea of water walkers. She was alone in this walk, with the truck moving behind her. I dashed out with a scribbled note and gave it to the driver. In time, by the grace of the Creator, I learned about the sacredness of that water walk and about the significance of the woman's activity. Grandmother Josephine and her dedication to water and her water walks became a turning point. Although I did not know her, I did not meet her at a very sacred intentional ceremony that changed my life. Wait, although I did not know her, I did meet her at a very sacred intentional ceremony that changed my life. Grandmother Josephine is extremely important. Water is not a commodity. She is alive and listens. She is sacred. She cannot lie to water. She demands respect and proactive involvement to protect her. Later, I was sitting in a djembe class. We were freestyling. Suddenly, I had this thought. You need to hold a World Water Day ceremony. You have to declare it. It was as if someone spoke it. We finished drumming. I immediately turned to my friend and I said, I'm going to hold a World Water Day gathering. When? Next week. There I had declared it. She agreed to help. I raced out to my car, told my husband. It was a flurry of activity to get the community invited and prepare for it. Exactly 1 week later, we had indigenous elders bless the water. 60 people attended. We gathered water from many sources. Also, some people brought water. I prepared and planned from deep place inside me a sense of presence. The ceremony concluded with the feast, remembering to feast the ancestors. The next morning, we took the collective water and repatriated it to the lake, drumming and giving thanks. I am humbled by the generosity of the indigenous leadership, whom I respect, for their inclusion and guidance, and importantly, the encouragement to proceed in what is a call for all humanity, respecting the ways that are only for their culture and what is universal to each of us as global peoples with our own expressions. Water will heal us and keep us healthy as we start by respecting she is life and sustains us. Water is music to the soul, hugging our thirst for that connection to the great mystery and the universe. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little of my story about water. There is just so much more. Thank you. Thank you, Grandmother Hazel, and the story of water. So Grandmother Hazel has become an important, prominent water protector, an individual here. Michael Coles as well. Michael Coles is the individual who's been joining me on the Drop of Water movement ever since the Gathering of Nations Powwow 2017 with the Buffalo Dance. I was asked to make and gift the Drop of Water to my friends who were going to be part of the ceremony, the Buffalo Dance, a special presentation, and which was to include all 19 pueblos from New Mexico. And it just so happened that I made 21 of those drops the very first night I was asked if I could make them, and they were going to ask if they could get special permission to wear them with their regalia. So now the Drop of Water has become part of their regalia when they were granted that permission. So, and everywhere now, that Drop of Water is worn with my friends at every dance that they dance. Especially, well, just any time, but especially when they dance for the water. And so, the Drop of Water made it to the Gathering of Nations as a sacred piece to be worn as their regalia, to be worn to honor the water and to honor the water protectors, to honor Standing Rock, Mini-Wachoni, to honor the water. Water is life. And so ever since that time of gifting, and just so happened that I gifted 19. I made 21. I gifted 19 of them to my friends. There were only 19 individuals as part of the Pueblo Enchantment Dancers. And they wore the drop of water during that special presentation of the Buffalo Dance. In 2017, at the Gathering of Nations powwow here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Tingley Coliseum. After that journey, I created the dropofwater.com, which then went up on 8/8/2017. So 8/8, and then the 1 and the 7 creates an 8 for me. So all 8s at 11:11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time is when I launched the website. Within 30 minutes, Michael Coles called me and says, "Hey, brother, I found your website online, and I'm all about the water." And he starts telling me all his journeys. And I'm floored because I had just launched the website, and I hadn't even really shared it out. And somehow, Jah led him right to the dropofwater.com, where we connected, and from that point on, our journey began. He started to order them in order to gift them in Canada, in Vancouver, British Columbia, and also on the side of Ontario, Canada, by Niagara Falls. So this journey has been going on ever since then, 8/8/2017, between Michael Coles and I. And we have a beautiful journey ahead of us. This is just the beginning of a lot of healing and prayers, all through the water and all for the water, all for the waters within us. Those sacred waters, the waters that we shed tears from, that water that comes out of us when we sweat, the water that we were created within in our mother's womb. Those waters are the most sacred waters in the world. The tears we shed, the sweat we drop, the amniotic fluid that we're created within. So I'll leave you with that, guys. The stories of water. I will continue to share this beautiful book here. And I will continue sharing stories of the drop of water and many things. And, you know, every year for World Water Day, March 22nd, I organize a cleanup, local cleanup here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We go down to the Bosque and we just pick up trash. We simply pick up trash. And those who go out and they pick up, you know, several bags of trash on their own will be gifted the drop of water to honor them, to make sure that everyone who is helping in this journey is, you know, is being thanked in a beautiful way, so that they may be honored with the drop of water. You know, this is a journey that's going to continue to go on and continue to flow. It's one of those gifts that keep on giving. You know, so the drop of water, it's just one of those things that's going to always and forever just keep on giving and gifting. And, you know, it would be beautiful if actually for every book that we sell through the drop of water, that it'll actually be wrapped with the water drop as such. So if you'd like to order stories of water, I believe I can get it to you for I think it's $25, and maybe we'll just put it a $30 price tag, and it comes with the water drop as well. So with that being said, I thank you all so much for doing what you can to protect our waters, protect your own sacred waters within. Dr. Emoto, he spoke of how prayers, intentions, the vibrations and frequencies that we put into the water, just even holding the water. And if you have bad thoughts, it's not a good thing for the water. The water will carry it, you know. That's why it's extremely important to always pray over your water, to make sure you put love, you know, like a mother's son, how she put love into the water to make sure that her son was was given that vibration, that frequency, and that energy of water. You know, you got to always remember to give thanks and gratitude for the water that you receive daily in order to sustain life. Water is life. Every drop counts. Let's give a quick prayer. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimante Siddhaswarapanana Padamahamsai Chanamane Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadigar Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Bol. God bless. God bless. Love and gratitude. Giving thanks. Water is life. Mini Wachoni. Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful energy that we'll receive today. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.